Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report with Michael Anthony Fitness. It is Sunday afternoon, and of course, there is no football.
No,
Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
it's football Sunday.
Big footballer. What's up, man? Big footballer. I'm sorry. There is football.
Until the
There's
draft.
AAF
Until we got the
football.
draft.
Michael Anthony's team is on tap in an hour. He'll be live streaming down there in the man cave. Me, I'm doing what I always do, which is working. Cowboys Mafia, what's good, man? Spotlight video, what's up? Man, listen, guys, tomorrow, actually, midnight tonight. Midnight tonight starts the beginning of tampering. And I am excited. Well, I'm always excited. Let's be honest. I'm always excited. Me and Michael are here working in the man cave. We're building some cabinets for that kitchen that we're working on. Now, what I'm going to start doing, there's some people who have been complaining. Some people that have been saying, listen, man, this is a football channel. We're supposed to be about the Dallas Cowboys. Why are you doing construction work? You're talking too much about the Dallas Cowboys. Excuse me. You're doing too much working and not enough talk about the Dallas Cowboys. So what we're going to start doing, what's up, David Wood? Dave Wood. And we're working on some wood. Okay. What we're going to do is, I have a third channel. Okay. We have the Jobu Sports Report, which was the one that I went to that was originally my cooking channel. That when they shut down this channel, I started using. So that's the one I always do my Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys report. And this one, of course, I try and do my night video, which is fireside chats when it's not raining or snowing out there where I can't get out there. Earl Thomas. Ooh, I'll get to that in just a second. Let me finish this promotion. This is a shameless promotion here. I have another channel. It's called The Wood Boar. Okay? Subscribe to that channel because we're going to start doing our workshop work on that channel. The Wood Boar. Okay? Yeah, I'll put it in the description, but we're live right now.
But what you could do and post it on the live streams.
I can post right, but you mean right this moment?
No, I'm not talking about after you go live.
Okay, after I go live. Okay.
But you could put it on the default upload, and it'll be on there on the live streams.
Okay, see, you know what's funny is
I found that out a month ago that I posted on.
He don't teach me shit. He always says this stuff when I'm doing stuff on here. Oh, Mark, Dad, you need to do something. You think I'm gonna remember that?
Well, you do it once, and you'll have to remember.
You think I'm gonna remember that?
You do it once, and then you just automatically put it on there for live streams.
All right. Well, is this one screwed together? Now, look, check this out, though, guys. Look at this. I want you to see what we got here. Look at our joints in here. Okay. Tight as wax. Look at this. Pre-finished, 3/4. This is not particle board. Not particle board at all. Listen, this stuff is so strong. How strong is it? Look at this stuff. You see this? You see this? Look at this. Look at that. That's good old American quality. Look, I dared. Look, watch this. Look. Do you see even a dent in that? Let me do that again. Look at that. That's all I did on that. That's how you build some cabinets. So, tomorrow or tonight, midnight, teams can legally, say legally, I don't understand why they even talk about this legal tampering time. You can start talking to players when you look at all the damn trades and everything else that have been going on. And technically, the Cowboys had already talked to Earl Thomas, supposedly at the combine. You'd see Antonio Brown say, oh, well, you can't finalize it till Wednesday. It's crap. But here we are. This is the opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to change their direction just a little bit. Should have been. Where's the other one?
All the ones
There should have been 4 of these. I'm just excuse me, 6 of these.
I did all the ones in the pile you gave me.
No, I'm missing one. No. Oh, this one. Mystery solved. I found it. Okay. So this is the opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to change the narrative and basically going on. What's going on with D-Law at the moment? Negotiations behind the scenes. We don't know exactly where the numbers are at this moment, but they're definitely talking. So after doing the stuff with Sean Lee yesterday, which was great, we ended up saving $6.5 million. Now understand what they did was exactly what I said that they should do. Is if you bring A2 Blue, what's up, yo man? You see the set, buddy? Don't you? You see how the set's changed? We're ready for you to come on through, man. We are ready to do some real work. You know, the draft is only a month and a half away. So we got to start getting ready and planning for that thing. And we actually need to work on the RV and things. But they're working on that deal. Because here's the thing. We got $20 million tied up right now with D-Law. They get that deal and stuff worked out, then they're going to end up probably being more like a $12, $13 million hit. So we'll save some money right there. We ended up saving $6.5 million by redoing Sean Lee's deal. Something I said, listen, you bring back that guy, he can be the linebacker whisperer with Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch like he was last year. And he can also be a very productive guy. The thing about Sean Lee is, I think we're going to sign Montgomery or Ingram to back up. See, you never know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm curious. I have no idea. I'll be honest with you. The Cowboys aren't in a big hurry to go ahead and have to hurry up and do D-Law's deal at this moment, but they should. If you're looking to make a move of free agency, you got $26 million, which is plenty to go ahead and sign some people here and there, and you can go ahead and work out the other deals down the road. And I think they still have some other moves they're going to make. I know they said that they're going to keep Allen Hurns, but if somebody out there comes around that you look and say is a big deal, do you think we're restructuring deals to get ET? Well, okay, again. No, we don't have 48 right now. No. We had 48 before the franchise tag and before we ended up redoing, getting Jason Witten and the other guys that we signed. We have about 26 million right now today. They can get more. Okay, here's the thing. If they want $10 million today, they can just basically take a pen and sign on Zach Martin and boom, get $10 million. If they go ahead and give Amari Cooper a long-term deal, they could save another $5-6 million there. If they decided, we're going to try and get an upgraded wide receiver, they could let Allen Hurns go and save another $5 million there. So, no, my Cowboys family, it's actually deducted right now. Go over the cap, it's already taken off on there because you've already allocated that money for DeMarcus Lawrence. Whether or not he signs, it doesn't matter because it's still allocated. So right now you got almost 26 million. But go look at over the cap. I could be wrong, but according to over the cap, he's right now our highest deduction on the roster at $20 million. Now, it could be he never signs it. It could be the Dallas Cowboys trade him and go someplace else. But right now, as the NFL looks at it, they say you got $20 million, 20 point something, set up for DeMarcus Lawrence. And that's subject to change on getting the deal done and so on. So, I don't know if the Dallas Cowboys are going to decide that we're going to be a player in free agency because they still have that $25 million. I hope they don't spend $25 million on free agents. I hope we don't spend that kind of money on it because that's one of those ones that you're basically renting them for 2 years. Could they go for Earl Thomas? Of course they could go for Earl Thomas. But Earl Thomas, who says he wants $15 million, is not going to get $15 million. Not going to get it. Eric Waddle basically got 10.5 for 2 years guaranteed, and the rest is incentives, and that only comes out to 12.5. So he's really, at best scenario, getting $6.5 million. Excuse me, $6.25 million. I know he's older, but you don't go from 6.25 to 15 as the range. Well, I think Earl Thomas, my Cowboys family, I think Earl Thomas is going to go around. I don't think the Cowboys are going to jump in head first with Earl Thomas. I think what's going to happen with Earl Thomas is he's going to go ahead and check the temperature. And when you see the amount of safeties that are out there right now that are on the market, you got to look and say, Earl Thomas wants 15. Honey Badger settled for 7 last year. 15 for Earl Thomas. Honey Badger for half.
Yeah, I'll take the Honey Badger.
15 for Earl. Honey Badger and another player for that kind of money. And I think what she's going to find out is ain't nobody out there looking to spend $15 million for a safety anymore. Safety has been devalued and is now like running back. It just is. Safeties are, you're not going to see another Eric Berry deal. I can guarantee you will not see another Eric Berry deal ever that's going to blow away like that. The value and price is coming down. And with the amount of safeties, think about last year. There were only a couple of safeties that were out there. And those guys had a hard time getting a job. And they didn't get lights out money. So I think Earl Thomas is going to have a dose of reality and think, okay, maybe I can get $10 million over here with somebody, maybe Green Bay Packers and stuff, or the Jets or something like that, but a team that's got a long ways to go to get back on top. Or maybe let me go back to the Cowboys and say, look, man, here's the best deal I got out there. Match this and maybe let me hold a little something more. And that's how you're going to get Earl Thomas. He wants to be, okay, look, and for the Cowboys to say we're not interested is bullshit. You don't go from last year willing to give up a second-round pick for this guy and risk tampering and then say, oh, never mind. Forget it. It was just a pass and finish. Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh, you already got that screwed on. Okay. That's number 2 of those. Oh, let me put my pocket holes in here. So what's everybody doing today? What you guys got going? Speak louder, Mike. Okay, sorry. I'll speak louder. Okay. Michael's working hard, and I'm doing nothing but... It's Q. Adrian, you're fishing. Damn. Just kidding. Q, we were talking about you this morning. Your name came up because I said, damn, Q, you're everywhere. You're literally everywhere. You pop a camera or you pop on YouTube, you turn around, you see. There's Q. There's Q. Literally. I was saying that to my wife because, I got the set up. Oh my God. You guys don't understand how much I absolutely love the locker room set now. I'm in love with that set. It almost makes you want to cry. It's so nice. Going down there and sitting down has been incredible. I had a thought here, but just thinking about the set made me lose it. I have to thank all of the great people out there. Joseph Hartley. Joseph is my man. Joseph last year sent me a mini helmet that was autographed by Jay Novacek. Said 3-time Super Bowl champion Jay Novacek. We did that for a giveaway. Joseph gave me a chair to give away from the old stadium that we used to help raise money last year for the draft. Joseph is sending me something that... I can't even. I'll just wait to surprise you guys on it. It's going to be incredible. So I need to get the other TV in the locker, um, so that way we can start doing the other broadcasts. Um, but I had something I wanted to say about the new set, and I can't remember what it was. I guess I'm just getting old and forgetful here. But you can see these cabinets are getting put together. Um, Damn, I can't remember what it was, but it was actually something really good. It sucks when you start getting old and forgetful. You remember what it was I was going to talk about? Huh. Oh, well. So much for that. Is Brian from SoCal in here? What's up, Brian? Oh, there's Brian. What's going on, man? Michael Anthony's going to be heading out of here in a few minutes to start doing his live stream. And actually, if I'm going to bring that cabinet down, I better do that before you get ready to live stream. And that means I also got to get a TV stand. So I'm going to, I won't be able to work on that either then while you're
Live streaming until maybe it's late.
So what you're telling me is, when you do this...
Well, I'm going to have a break, though.
Telling me is Dad, stay the hell out the man cave.
I didn't say that. I'm not going to be live streaming until the last game, but it'll be
There we go.
an hour.
All right, so we won't be working in the man cave then today. Or...
Or you just wait until the break.
God, there was something I was going to tell you guys about, and I can't remember. But anyway, we're ready for the start of free agency and to see what the Cowboys do. Like I said, I think the Cowboys are going to see. You look at the Giants. The Giants have realized we suck, and we need drastic changes. So they've gone through, and I think they've actually done the wise thing, which was go ahead. Let's not pay Landon Collins. Let's save that money. Let's go ahead and get rid of Lillian Vernon. You know, get a draft pick or two or whatever they got. Get that off the books, okay?
They were stupid last season.
If we can get somebody to trade for Odell Beckham.
They should have done it last year because the Rams were going to give him number one.
Well, right. They should have. But if they can get rid of Odell Beckham, that's more money they can get off of the cap and everything else. And one less target for Eli Manning. Let Eli Manning just go through this year, tank the season, and get high draft picks and many, many more to go, right? And maybe you go ahead and draft that quarterback and you let him sit behind Eli Manning for a year, the Pat Mahomes style. I think that's a good plan. Redskins-wise, they may go ahead and try and trade for Josh Rosen and hope that he's going to be the quarterback for the future. And you just kind of let that team die. Or you just stick with Case Keenum, let your coach bomb, fire him, and let the new coach come in with high draft picks to start the team over. But at some point, you have to look at your team and say, we have a lot of needs. And just trying to plug a hole here and there, it's just not going to do it anymore. And I think the Redskins and the Giants are... Whoa! Damn! Jay! This is the big one. I think I'm coming to join you, Elizabeth. Thank you, really. Wow, for that super chat, man. I appreciate that. Damn. That was, whoo. We'll be doing some more stuff on the man cave with that one. Damn, Jay. That's letting me hold something there. Mike is like, damn, Dad, you know, you could do some work here.
I could pass those savings on to me. I'm talking to your fans, not you.
Oh, okay. I was like, you telling me I need to...
No, I'll talk to your fans.
Yeah, actually, we're going to be... I'm excited about the way the man cave is shaping up. I still have a bunch more stuff I want to do down in there, and I'm going to be really, really organized stuff. And I think I was talking about Joseph. Oh my God, he's sending some stuff, so we're going to be doing some giveaways. And I actually have a lot of stuff that's downstairs. I still have a lot of autographed shirts and things. So we're going to start doing. In fact, I tell you what, Mr. JJJ, we will start doing super chat giveaways again. We got all kinds of stuff in there. I got too much shit. Literally, I got too much shit that I need to do it. So we'll start out with Mr. JJJ on the super chat. And shout out to Miss Jackie. Oh yeah, we're going to the draft. That's where we saw E2 Blue. I was just saying we got to go ahead and get together. We're going to go ahead and get the RV gassed up. We're going to be driving to Nashville, and we're going to be there. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Dallas Cowboys trade up and get back into the first round and say, you know what? Let's do something. Maybe instead of, here's a crazy thought. Maybe instead of saying, let's go crazy in free agency, maybe they decide and say, you know what? Let's go crazy in the draft. I hadn't thought about this. Okay, we got 2 fourth-round picks, right? We got the second-round pick. Then we've got the draft from the next year. You could take the fourth and the second, or maybe you take a future draft pick. Maybe you take a player, and maybe you try and trade up and get back in the first round if there's a guy that you say is an impact player. Because, see, here's what I look at.
I know, but I want to.
That one was almost empty anyway. Boom. Here's the way you look at the draft, or at least I like to look at the draft. You want to, when you go through the draft, you want to get a impact player that from day one is a starter and makes an impact. We got that from Van Der Esch last year. We got that from Van Der Esch. Van Der Esch was an impact player because, well, it wasn't day one. It was after Sean Lee got hurt. But you don't understand what I'm saying. We didn't get that the year before. We thought we were going to get that from Taco. Taco ended up being kind of a soft Taco for the most part. But I'm not ready to give up on Taco. The second thing you want to get out of the draft is you want to get another starter. Doesn't have to be an impact guy, but a starter. You can get an impact guy and a starter. Third thing you want to get is you want to get a special team standout. And after that, if you can get depth in a couple positions, then that draft was a success. We got that and more from last year's draft. We did damn good in last year's draft, okay? Michael Gallup is developing. He's becoming a great guy. Van Der Esch was incredible. And that draft was good. The draft before didn't develop. And this is one of the problems we had last year was that draft did not really develop like you wanted it to. We didn't get an impact guy to start out with. Taco, your first-round draft pick, didn't do really much of anything. We had DeMarcus Lawrence come on, which was great. But you started looking at it, and you looked at Switzer, was injured in training camp. Xavier Woods, all of these guys had injuries, and it took a while. And Jordan Lewis kind of came on a bit. Woozy came along a bit towards the end of the season. But it wasn't really the great draft that you had to have an impact. The year before, when you got Zeke Elliott, impact. You got Dak Prescott, impact. You had a great draft that year. You ended up getting Jalen Smith, who wasn't an impact at first, but good Lord, he's been an impact since. So that draft was incredible. If we can get a draft like last year's or 2016, then we're great. And with this draft being full of edge rushers and defensive line, maybe you start thinking there might not be a chance to get that guy next year. So maybe you sit there and look and say, there's a guy we got rated on our board as a top 10 pick who's right there, say, 20, 25. And maybe you look and say, let's take that guy now and plug him in. He's going to be that 350-pound beast in the middle, or that second edge rusher, that guy that fell. No, seriously. And that's where you start looking and say, maybe we pull off that trade and we change our DNA because we got this guy rated as a top 10, but we can get him as a 20. We can take a pick from next year, which if we do well, because here's the thing. Next year, if everything goes right, your pick next year should be in the hopefully late 20s. Let's hope it's 32nd, which means we won the Super Bowl. And so that's where you look at it and say, maybe let's go ahead and make that move. That one's done. Damn. Michael's just rolling here. I'm talking? Well, somebody did have to think out how to make all these pieces. Okay, let's move that one. Did you hit these? Oh, yeah. Just like that. See, you know what? This is, you're feeling this page. Well, thank you, Derek. I appreciate that. He's doing what he's doing. Well, for me, let me let you guys in on a secret. I love having him working the shop, it means I work less. Because normally I'm the one putting it. What? Normally I'm the one putting all this stuff together so I can sit here and talk to you guys. Okay, so, but check this out though. In the time, we got 3 of these 18-inch cabinets. What we'll do is make a face frame. We'll make a face frame for each of these, and then a door on them. Boom, they're gonna be gorgeous. So what you're seeing is the whole kitchen being put together. Yes, ma'am. Hey. How you doing? You want to say hello to everybody? Okay. Everything okay? Okay. Anyway. Got my train of thought here. Anyway, you start looking at that and saying, is there a guy out there that can be a difference maker, and do we get him now? You can actually look at what we did with Amari Cooper, because, when we first made the trade for Amari Cooper, you looked at that and said, you don't give up a number 1 for a wide receiver. And I know a lot of people right now are like, we could have had Antonio Brown for a 3 or 5. Well, that scenario was few and far between. And what we would have given up had that have been the case is the season. The reality is the trade for Amari Cooper saved the season. It changed the whole direction of the franchise. And I think that the Antonio Brown deal, I look at right now, the Raiders, I'm sorry, they are a rudderless ship right now. Those guys, sorry. And Raider Nation, you can be mad at me all you want. But I'm telling you, it's like they are reaching at straws. What this reminds me of, exactly. Can you do that? Do it a little flatter. So you're not really taking off quite as much. It's almost time for me to go. But here's the thing. What that reminded me of is what Chip Kelly did. Chip Kelly, remember, because I always tell you, there are no new ideas in the world. It's just the same thing over. And history repeats itself. Okay? You remember when Chip Kelly came through, he was the college genius and stuff. And he took a team that was good in Philadelphia and bit by bit ended up wholesaling it and getting rid of guys. And some of the trades he did, you're kind of scratching your head. And my buddy, Tom Donnelly, the moron, he was losing it because all the jerseys that he had of guys were all of a sudden being given away. All the guys that they always liked, the foundation of the teams, were just traded for nobodies. When they made the trade for the linebacker from Buffalo, it was kind of like, that guy was injured, didn't play last year. You gave away, Shady McCoy for that guy? What? So, when you start looking at the Raiders, you look at them kind of grabbing and reaching and stuff, because you got to be honest. You look at Khalil Mack being traded and given away, and then turn around and say, pass rushers, they're hard to find. You had one of the best ones in the league in your house, and you gave them away. Okay. And then you had Amari Cooper, and when it first happened, everybody was like, yeah, they screwed over the Cowboys and stuff. But you see what Amari Cooper did with the team. Now everybody thinks that Derek Carr was such a better quarterback. The Falcons Nation guy swore that Derek Carr, he's a top 100 quarterback. Yeah, Dak Prescott is garbage. But you see what the difference, because we can compare apples to apples here. Because we had Amari Cooper with Derek Carr, 22 receptions and 1 TD. You see him with Dak Prescott, well over 700 yards and 6 TDs, whatever it was. And you say, okay, if Derek Carr's so good, how come he couldn't do that with Amari Cooper? So what you see to me is all these crazy moves that John Gruden has made, that he needed to do something to appease the masses. And that's why he reached for Antonio Brown. But I don't think it's going to work the way it's going to, what he wants to. I look at Big Ben as a hell of a lot better quarterback than what Derek Carr is. I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers as a much better team than right now where the Raiders are. Antonio Brown was getting more passes than anybody else, was the number 1 wide receiver in Pittsburgh on a winning team that challenges for the playoffs every single year. And he wasn't happy there. Now, granted, he's getting a new contract, getting more money, but now you got the money. You're going to be over here with Derek Carr, or they get rid of Derek Carr and draft a rookie.
Murray's a bust. Been all over.
To me, that's a powder keg waiting to explode. If they can't reach a deal with, no, Demarcus Lawrence is staying. He ain't going nowhere. Junebug. Oh, Junebug's working at his house painting the room. Well, if you'd like to come over and paint a room or two here, that's cool too. Appreciate the super chat, man. $12 million for ET for 2 seasons. I'd do that in a heartbeat. I would do that in a heartbeat. But I think you're going to be able to. Here's the thing. I think you're going to be able to do a deal with him that will have a lot of incentives on it. And I got no problem with paying him for incentives. If you stay on the field and stay healthy and everything, I got no problem paying you. I'm more than happy to do that. Believe me, I'm happy to do that. But we'll have to wait and see what happens and transpires on that. Work on this one. I'm going to take these down a little bit more. This is our microwave cabinet right here. It's working on. What time is it? Because you're ready to go, aren't you? Right at 4 o'clock? He's got to go. Okay. Hold on. He's going to let him finish screwing that. I'll be right back. Master cabinet maker at work.
Ain't no man.
Did y'all miss me? Harold Jones classic. Way too long? Okay. He's not gonna get it, Derek. Listen. You know what? What's good, Mike? Mike's like, you're done, right? Okay, Mike.
What's good is Earl Thomas ain't getting 15.
Okay.
What's good?
You know, I can actually move. You know, I can get you to help me move that later on. I could actually get it out of the way. And so, okay, here's the thing. You can want anything you want. He could want $20 million if he wanted to. Le'Veon Bell wanted how much money? AB wanted how much money? They ended up sitting out. Um, but reality is totally something else. Teams do not or will not spend that kind of money on a safety. I'm telling you, safety is not what it once was. The change in the rules have made it different. There you go. AB to the Raiders. I think that's a powder keg. That thing is gonna blow up. It is gonna be ugly. AB is gonna be a cancer. And I think it's gonna be Chip Kelly all over again. That situation was, we're just reaching and grabbing. And I'm amazed that John Gruden I can't believe. Well, actually, I can't believe. Truth and okay, let me say this much. I wanted John Gruden to be our coach. I'll put it right out there. Put it right out there that I wanted John Gruden to be our coach because X's and O's wise, I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was good at taking a good team to another level. Okay? That's what I looked at. The thing about John Gruden was John Gruden took the team that Tony Dungy had built, took that great defense and everything else, and ended up taking them to the Super Bowl and winning. I look at the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys are great with players. You can't argue with the talent that the Dallas Cowboys have been able to bring in here. Okay? That has not been our problem. We've had enough talent to go to the Super Bowl since 2011 and 12. We've had players. We've had more Pro Bowl players. We've drafted more first round guys that have made the Pro Bowl than anybody else. The problem has been is you could go through and literally point out a play here and a play there that makes all the difference in the world. A game here and a game there. You know, in some of those years, like for example, losing to the Green Bay Packers when you were up 27-3 at half, and you pass the ball more than the team that's behind, the catch, no catch, and I'm not saying the call on that. I'm saying that it was 4th down and 1, and you had the best running back in football. Prudency would say, let's pick up the 1st down and try and eat up the clock so Aaron Rodgers can't go down the field on us. You know what I'm saying? Plays like that. Being up against the Lions twice by 3 touchdowns and ended up throwing a couple of interceptions and losing. You could go back and point at all these different games that, you know, a play or two here would be the difference of being a playoff team versus being an 8-8 team. So John Gruden, after winning that Super Bowl and ended up having to rebuild the team, that team went in the toilet. So I looked at it and said, well, the Dallas Cowboys already have players and have the foundation of getting the players. I don't need him to pick the players. What I need him to do is to get the players motivated to win the Super Bowl. But you look at John Gruden, and it's more like he's Joe the fan running the organization. Oh, let me get this. Let me get that. Khalil Mack, forget him. Let's get rid of him. He wants too much money. You know, your whole thing, because here, think about this for a second. Your whole reason of Amari Cooper was we don't want to pay him. You couldn't figure out how to use that talent? You telling me that Amari Cooper, the same guy that blew up for our team without a training camp, came here cold and did that? You telling me you couldn't get anything out of him? And you didn't want to pay him, but you're going to pay more money for a guy that's 6 years older who has destroyed a team. Huh? Huh? Understand, Victor, it's more, hold on. Yes, it's play calling too. But the reality is, in the NFL, the difference between winning and losing is literally that much. Sometimes it's about that guy who wants it a little bit more, that's a little bit hungrier. It's that little edge. Let me give you an example. Charles Haley was not the biggest guy out there. He wasn't the fastest guy out there. But he had an edge. That edge because people thought, that motherfucker's crazy. He's crazy. John Randall. John Randall, who every time I see, I go, Knight Rider! And he's like, what's up? Yeah, he knows I'm crazy. But John Randall was that same way that he was always out there talking. John Randall's not that big. John Randall's got maybe an inch or so on me. He ain't no bigger than me. But he was one of the fiercest pass rushers out there. It's that motivation. And you could see the difference on our defense. Because basically, we had the same guys from the year before on our defense. But you see what Chris Richard was able to bring, that aggression, that attitude, like they had in Seattle, because Seattle was known as the Legion of Boom. That attitude. You could see that with Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith, where they're, we had the Wolf and, of course, the Predator. It wasn't so much all about the X's and O's. It was about that attitude and that desire of wanting to play as well. That motivation. And understand, just like they say dogs start to look like their owners, after time, you start taking on that mentality. Players take on that mentality of the coaching. So if you got a coach who's kind of nonchalant and laid back, like Jason Garrett, who is kind of like, it's okay, Johnny. We'll get him next time. Here's your participation trophy. You can see that with the players. When you see Chris Richard out there spitting fire, you see that defense out there spitting fire, ready to rock and roll. He's ready to run through a brick wall. Those guys are ready to follow him running into the brick wall. And that's what I thought you'd get with John Gruden. Problem with John Gruden is he's running the team into the ground. Now, I may be wrong. It may be AB ends up doing it. But I got to tell you, you watch my words. AB will be the death of the Raiders. Hold your ears, guys. This is actually the joiner. Forgive me, guys. I'm here working. So, that's where we are. Now, my question is, because the Dallas Cowboys are at a crossroads. You have Stephen Jones, who believes in making sure we don't spend too much. He's like the bad cop. Like, you want to go out and buy that new car. You want to go out and spend all that money, get the, get the rims that look really good, that crazy paint job and everything else. You want to go all in on it, okay? That's Jerry Jones. I want that car to be nice. I want everything I can put on that thing, okay? But then you got the other person, the wife and all that, says, you know what? We don't have that money to spend. You can't trick it out like that, because then we ain't gonna be able to buy dinner. You know, we gotta fix the hot water heater too. That roof, a year or two from now, that sucker's gonna be leaking. We've got to be rational about this. We can't spend money we don't have. So that's where we are. You got Jerry Jones who wants to get that fly car that we can't live in. And you've got Stephen Jones, we got to take care of the house first. Somewhere, Mark May, hold it, I'm sorry, I didn't get that one. About cutting a piece of wood, a piece of pine. They'll pay D-Law, don't worry about it. You know how to cut a piece of wood, but I know, oh, you know how to lay pipe. Okay. All right, we're going to leave that one alone. Let me cut this real quick. Let me use the joiner again, guys. Thank you very much for that. Let me show you what I was actually doing here. All right, so what we have here looks easy. Well, I tell you what, I've been doing cabinet making for forever. And it's like anything. If you do it enough times, it gets to be easy. If you'd seen, actually, next time I go to my mother's house, I'll show you some of my early stuff that I built that, believe it or not, when I was a kid, is still in use today. But as I've been able to get older, buying equipment, here's the thing that I was trying to do. And this is something you ought to try and do as well. You have to invest back into yourself, okay? When I do a job, I always try and say, let me put into the job the cost of a new piece of equipment, okay? If you can get a saw that ends up cutting that much straighter or that much cleaner, and it's a tool that can pay for itself, it's a worthwhile investment. Give you an example. This is not a cheap circular saw. This is a 60-volt battery. This battery is like $150, okay? But these batteries are so powerful. How powerful are these? They actually have my miter saw over there. I have a cordless miter saw that runs off of these. You can get about 250 cuts off that miter saw with this battery. They have chainsaws that you can use with this battery. I'm going to end up spending about $300 for a 4-bank charger for this, so I can charge up 4 of these at one time. But here's the cool thing about it. It's not only a charger, it's also a generator. I could put 4 of these batteries on that generator, and I can run a refrigerator for 3 days off of it. I can run an electric circular saw off of it. I can run a compressor off of it. And I can go to a tailgate and not have to have a generator that's making all that noise to actually have the television on at that tailgate. So getting tools is worthwhile. And so over the course of all the years of me doing cabinet work and things, I've bought equipment. Now take a look at this. Look at how clean those cuts are. Look at how straight that angle is right there. Okay? When you go through and put this stuff together, because I've gotten good equipment, look at that. That is perfectly cut. And that's where buying good equipment will make the difference in the world. Could I make this stuff with yeah, I could do it, man, but, with different, but it's not going to be as precise. And that's what you have to look at when you start talking about players. Yeah, you can get a safety that's cheap, but will he do the same job as a guy that costs a little more? That's what you have to look at. Now, there's somebody out there who's a little upset right now. You guys know who's a little upset, not feeling the love? And I'm hoping that because he's not feeling that love, that he does something about it. And that's Xavier Woods. He was tweeting like this, cordless. Not having the extension cords tripping over. Because I tell you what, trip over one cord and go to the hospital. The sander was a lot cheaper. But Xavier Woods is a little upset because he's like, I read all the posts from Cowboy fans and stuff, wanting Earl Thomas and everything else, basically thinking I'm just chopped liver. Where do you see this one, guys? Let me sand this other piece real quick. This is going to be cool. This is one good thing about getting me to go to cabinet. I can customize it so it'll fit exactly. So if I need an 18-inch out cabinet or 21.5 inch, or if I only need a 15, I can make them all myself. All right, so this is actually an upper cabinet. This is a corner cabinet. So we're going to end up having this cabinet with these going and wrapping around. So let's see if I'm worth anything here and if it's right. That's why I had to make this 45-degree cut on there. Can't wait to get this whole kitchen together. And this is what's cool. Pocket holes. What they do for us is they allow us to hide the screw holes. Corner square. Holds it perfectly square while we get ready to screw it together. Drill just for pocket holes. That way you're not changing tips all the time. Bam! I'm doing it wrong? What am I doing wrong? Cowboys said they aren't out on her. You know what? People hate me. People give me a lot of shit. I mean, a lot of shit. I'm going to ask you guys honestly, and I don't care if you like me or hate me or whatever. Honestly, how many times am I really wrong? Seriously. Right now, the only thing that you guys can say that I was not right about is Earl Thomas. But you can't deny that the Dallas Cowboys have not been after Earl Thomas. Seriously. Before anybody else, anybody out there. I did a video that said Dak Prescott is the perfect quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I got the video to back me up. I went to the draft and I said, draft this guy, draft this guy. I was right about that shit. I was right about Calais Campbell. I said 11-5 this season. I said 10-6 last season. Okay, so I was off by one game both times. I'm more right than I am wrong. And I will take my record against Adam Schefter. I'll take my record against Ian Rappaport. And I'll take it against anybody else out there. You may not like me, but I'm damn sure close. What did I tell you guys? I said Sean Lee will be back on a reduced salary. I said 5. That's what I said. Sean Lee, listen, boy, son, we love you. We want you back. We want you back, but we need some help. We want to get you that Super Bowl ring, son. But we need to hold a little something so we can get some more people here. That's right about that. Who said I wasn't using the drill right? What am I not doing right with my drill? I see the screws are in here. They're not out the other side. They're not over tight and stripped. Well, I'm much better than R. Kelly. Okay. I hope I'm better than R. Kelly. Damn. That's one I don't want to be. Now, come on now. You got to admit, these are going to look good. And back to the whole point of you get what you pay for. This plywood is about $80 a sheet now because of the tariffs. This is American made. The Chinese used to be about $38 a sheet, but because of the tariffs, it went up to $48. So the American company said, well, we can make more money off it. Didn't cost the plywood. Plywood's still the same. They're just charging $20 more because, well, buy American, spend more money. Does that make any sense to you guys? The idea was, let's put tariffs on the import so that way people will buy American. What do the American companies do? We're going to up our price since the other ones went up. So anyway, you're putting screws in the wrong spot. Where would you put them, Steve? This is going to be against the ceiling. Inside my cabinet is nice and clean. So how's that in the wrong spot? Depends on how big a house you want, how many floors it is. So when I look inside my cabinet, nobody will ever see these screws. Now on this side, it's going to be on the bottom side because you don't want to have holes on the inside of it that can fill up with debris. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. And I'm self-taught on how I do it. And that's not to say that it's right or wrong. It's just, this is how I do it. But look at it. Hold on, look at this. Look at that dado cut right there. Isn't that pretty? Look at how clean that is. See, no tear out or anything. Look at that angle. Boom, look at that. Clean that little chip. I'll tell you what. Real quick. I'm gonna show you guys something. Follow me. Come on. Okay. Forgive me, it may be a little bit messy. This is actually pantry cabinets. So they built this. This is our pantry. This used to be the washer and dryer room. But I want you to take a look here. See these cabinets right here? my kitchen. Line rack on top of there and everything and all that. The microwave cabinet and all that. Boom, spice racks on each side of it. Glass through here. Pantry right here. Boom. Would you believe I built this 16 years ago? 16. Yeah. Oh. Decided we needed a little narrow cabinet to keep like medicine and stuff in it. Okay. Custom made. I dare you to find some cabinets from any place that are still there 16 years today. 16 years those kitchen cabinets have been there. So this may not be perfect. There may be some imperfections here or there, but falling apart won't be. I love answering questions that I have learned from Mark on the other live streams. Well, thank you. I guess that's the highest compliment that I can get. That you're using me to. Now, if I pulled the Michael down, I can't find the blue bottle. Oh, here it is. I think this is the one Michael had. Well, thank you, Stephanie. You're becoming a crowd favorite in here. All right. So Michael Anthony's going to be going on soon on his channel, watching the game. This is how we do it. All right, put this one together, and I'm going to call it a day in here in the shop. Tomorrow we'll put the face frames on these and start making the doors. Screws in here and I'll show you exactly what we got. All right, so what's going to happen is this is a corner cabinet. So we'll end up having these other cabinets that I just put together go off of these. So you'll have one that'll go here like this. Boom. And we have then the kitchen sink that's right here in a window. Then we have another one of these that's right here. And then we have the microwave. So you can see how this will flow on around the kitchen. Rather proud of myself. So, thank you guys as always. Wow, we put all this together in an hour? Damn, fist pump. There we go. Patriots fan. How we get Patriot fans in here? 2 + 2 = 3 because I believe that Gruden's MAF. Well, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'll say this much for John Gruden. Yes, I do. I have them. I just hate. It's like gloves. I just hate to wear them. And unless I'm doing like stuff where I'm really cutting and the equipment that's in here has a dust collection system, so it sucks all of it in. How much sawdust do you see on me? Do you see any saw? You see anything? Look. Do you see any wood chips on my face or anything? Pretty clean. Pretty clean. So yes, you're right, Stephanie. The fact that they ended up getting AB and our 27th pick, still pretty good. And basically, they ended up costing them a third and a fifth to get a first. Basically, You could almost say that AB could be a better wide receiver, maybe, but he's also a cancer. So I say that that's a wash. So you can look at it and say he got a higher draft pick for a third and a fifth. We'll see if it works out. There's no guarantees that anything will happen to work out, because you can look at it on paper and say, "Oh man, that's a great move." Everybody looked at it and said, "Morris Claiborne for a first and a second, that's a steal." They said trading back to get Travis Frederick and Terrence Williams. You lost on that one. I got to tell you, he was an All-Pro every year. He just happened to get sick last year. So a lot of times, what looks like it's a great move, blow up in your face. Sometimes things that look like a bad move end up being the right one. So as always, people, thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing. For Spygate, okay, no evidence Patriots. No, they just made you pay for it, though, right? There was no evidence that Zeke Elliott did anything either. But what happened on that one? I'll see you guys.